Hey everybody, and welcome to session 6. I'm going to take a quick look at the course plan. For session 6 we have 1 week and you have 2 things to do. You have no new readings, no new stimulations of any kind except that you're creating a plan. So you're going to use all this knowledge that you've been building over the semester, and you've been growing this knowledge, you've been reading things, collecting ideas, tips, guidelines, frameworks, learning about teacher self-efficacy and what a barrier that could be to making a change happen in a classroom, etc. You've been gathering this information, and I've also gathered it for you on the all readings in this course page. So what you're doing in part 3 is, well, you're going to read the instructions, but you're basically creating an action plan and justifying in great detail at every step what you're doing. So a plan of, I believe it's 8 to 12 steps for how you would diffuse the selected innovation in the selected context. So honestly, a week should be enough. If you guys hit Monday and you haven't started on it, that's fine. So I think between Monday and Sunday you should have no trouble getting it in. If as a group you decide in advance, like, and by in advance I mean have respect, as a group you need to decide this, that you need another day or two, that would be fine to take that. I'm not worried about it. You don't have to apologize to me. You're adults, you have busy lives, so if you see your schedules are kind of nuts for some reason and your group needs a day or two extra, you can take through Tuesday, July 26th with no problem. Even Wednesday you could push it because that's technically the final cutoff deadline in the course. I'd be willing to let you take even up to Wednesday at midnight, so July 27th. But again, don't be a flake in your group that decides on Sunday night to finally reappear after a week-long, going dark kind of thing, and you decide that your group needs to delay things because you weren't there to help. Don't do that to people. You guys need to work together, agree on when you're going to submit things. So if you're going to submit by Sunday night, figure that out. Agree to do that. In fact, that should be the default assumption. Unless otherwise agreed upon, try to get it done by Sunday, July 24th at midnight. If you have a special conversation where everybody agrees to get it in by Monday, July 25th, that's great, but make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. No surprises. Okay, so that's what we're doing. This is part 3. Let me click inside the module. At this point in the semester, you'll probably be receiving invitations to do course evaluations. Please feel free to do that at any point. They usually don't, they become unavailable at some point, and I don't want you to miss your chance to do them, but they'll probably become unavailable during session 7, those final days of the semester. I'm not really sure though at this point, but please try to get that done. Give me some feedback on how this semester has gone for you and how I've performed. Okay, looking in session 6 then. I urge you to take a look at that course plan. I was just looking at it. It's looking pretty good, I guess. We'll see how badly it hurts when we hit the end of the semester with that 1 week for part 3. Part 4 is pretty easy. It's just a self-assessment and a little bit of assessment of your colleagues and how everybody worked together. It's done through a Google form, and you can also submit the Dropbox that's tied to it, although you don't have to really put anything in that Dropbox. You don't even have to submit the Dropbox if you don't want to, but you might want to just to get it out of your Dropbox pile. It'll say late on it and it'll bother you if you don't, but I can actually grade inside the Dropbox without you putting anything in it, because technically you're putting the part 4 into an online survey that's linked here. Okay, so what do I want to say to you guys about part 3? Well, part 3 is your chance to show off your knowledge. Hopefully you've been reading the articles that have been linked throughout the course. We have books even that have been linked in the course. We have videos that you've been watching. Even those can you can reference those, like the CBAM videos. Those are completely legitimate based on the work of those researchers, Hall et al. I also have this all readings in course page. It's here to help you to quickly look at readings that have appeared throughout the entire course. Hopefully that helps you. And part 3 is your chance to show off that you can make a plan that is informed by research and practice as shared in the literature. So some of the literature or these readings that you've had in the course are actual research studies. Some of them are literature reviews. Some of them are experts that give you advice on how you lead change. So like the Fullen articles from session 5, Fullen article, and the Cotter article, I think it was a Cotter. Those are like guidelines for leading change. Those aren't really research studies, but they're guidelines based on what experts who study this stuff have learned. So they're more like promising practices based on their knowledge of the literature and that kind of thing. So we have a variety of readings that give you guidelines for how you lead change. So you can use those to strengthen your arguments for how you guys devise your action plan in part 3. So this is your chance to show off, have fun with it, be thorough. Not only do you do a written plan, but you also create a summary table. The summary table should not have all of the information that the written plan has. The summary table should be more succinct, okay? And you should not try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and only make a summary table. Please know that you need to actually do a written piece and a table. And use APA. I went a little soft on you guys during part 1. If your APA wasn't perfect, I tried to comment on it. And for some of you, if you didn't do anything with it, I kind of tried to force you to do a little bit of APA. But for part 3, I want you to actually do some APA. So for all of those sources that you're showing off, I think I asked you for 8, but you need to double check the instructions. You want to make sure that if you have an idea that's taken from an article, that you cite it. And it's no big deal. You can use other people's ideas and you just cite it and boom. You've strengthened your argument, you've used their ideas, you've told the world you're using their ideas, and that just makes you look better. But just make sure you cite it using APA. If you also quote directly from an article, then you also include a page number in that in-text citation. So, not much more to say. I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to be. We're at 8 minutes. How did I turn this into an 8-minute thing? But if you get your course evaluations, please, through email, please go ahead and do those as well. All right, guys. I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with in part 3.